Gemini, what's up, baby? Let's do a reading for you. It's been a while. My Gemini friends, I have not forgot about you. I know who you are, and I know where you are. Geminis are awesome people, not gonna lie. I can think of two great friends that I've had that have been Geminis. There is a lie about Geminis. Some people say that Geminis are the cheaters of the zodiac. And it's kind of like you guys do have a tendency of looking for greener grass, okay? You get bored easily, stuff like that. But that doesn't mean that Gemini is going to cheat. And if you guys have been watching me for a while, I talk about I've been studying this stuff all my life, right? I've watched Geminis without them knowing that I'm trying to pick up on whether or not they're an actual Gemini. But that trait is a negative trait. It is not necessarily true. One Gemini that I knew had been married for 30 years, committed, family person, and then divorced. And I think during that period of time, this person kind of went out there exploring, as you could, dipping their toes in the water. And I'm not your judge. Nobody's your judge. Only God can judge you. And only God knows your heart, Gemini. You're good people. I feel like there is a balancedness to you. Yes, your duplicity because of the two sides. And so maybe there's some truth to that, is that you tend to be very balanced as well, because you can see both sides of a situation. And if you just take a look on your feed, you can see that somebody out there wants us to fight each other. They want us to divide. And the honest truth of it is, I feel like most people, when you talk to them, they're not political. We all want the same things, honestly. But what they want to do is they want to get us uptight about our differences. The differences is what makes us strong. And the two-party system, whether you like it or not, was meant for there to be checks and balances. Because I can tell you right now, if you took out the conservatives right now, your kids would be molested in a week at public school, probably. Sex would be out of control. Rape would be out of control. We've seen it happen when societies get rid of God. They get brought down, and you can see it. You see people shitting on the streets and pissing on the streets, and you want to live in an area like that. Those are areas where there's no honor, there's no dignity, and all kinds of lawlessness comes forth. But when you have a balanced system, the checks and balances don't allow for that. And that's what's missing today, is we got two parties that will not talk. The one side wants to talk, but the other side will not talk. And it's not helping. We have to find common ground, and we have to figure out a way to make it work. That's what we're paying these son bitches for. Not for them to rule over us. We're paying them to fix shit. And nothing's getting fixed. And whose fault is it? It's not just the politicians' fault. It's our fault because we let them do this shit. We've let it go for so many years. The corruption is so deep. I don't think there is any way to really fix it, I think Trump's trying, or at least he started out trying hard. This president here is trying to abolish tax. Well, what happened to the last president that tried that? What happened to the one before that? And I'm benefiting from it big time. I recognize the flaws, but hey, I didn't like Obama myself, but I'll tell you what, he was my president. And while he held that office, I respected the process. I didn't go around bitching and blocking the streets and blocking people and attacking the cops because I don't like his deportation policy, because no attention was ever brought to it. Nobody ever even seen how many people were getting deported. No one's seen the people that died in the detention centers. You didn't hear one word about it. And yet he had more than the last 3 presidents combined. Not one fucking word. That's why I don't buy it. Just like I don't buy this shit with the gas prices. Everything that the Democrats are saying right now about the gas and all that shit, when it was under Biden and it was $6 a gallon, not one fucking word. And actually, they did question Biden. I'll try to show the clip if I have it. You ought to see the hypocrisy. It's pretty bad. This president's trying to do what he can, and he's getting fought. It's been an uphill battle for him the entire time. And I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. But again, when it was on the other foot, and Obama and even Biden, he was my president at that time. I'm going to support my president. It's better than living in fucking North Korea. I think America is wonderful. I'm 3rd generation Texan, Native American, because my people were here before the white man came in. Not anything against white people. I love white people. But I think most people will tell you, especially when you talk to older people, they will tell you that this country is a great, wonderful country. You need to respect where you're living. If you live in another country, you need to respect them. You don't go to Indonesia and start telling them people what to do and how to behave and change their laws and all this kind of shit. You go in under the understanding that you're a visitor. So, sorry for all that political speech, but hey, you know what? I know 2 Geminis right now that would agree with me what I'm saying. We need to get back to being balanced. This is too much divisiveness going on. Too many people trying to make us fucking hate each other. And it's so sad because it's not worth it. For one, who does it benefit? See, they have to divide and conquer. They need to get us fighting. They need us to hate each other, because then we'll start killing each other. And there'll be bloodbaths on the street. And they have a term for it, order out of chaos. But it's basically, it is a tactic to create a chaos, create a riot, create a pandemic, create, pillaging in the streets and murder in the streets and rape in the streets. Like I say, a world where you take out one side and you just get, like I say, you take the conservatives out and your kids are getting molested. I swear they're going to get molested. And there will be no law and order. It will be, we already got right now these, you guys hear about these judges that it's catch and release is what they call it. And these guys get out, they go kill somebody, and they go in and they let them right back out. What kind of insanity does that? Unless you have a plan. That plan is a Cloward and Piven plan. It is a plan to destroy and destabilize the country's people, destroy the social construct, destroy the family, the home, destroy the education, indoctrinate. And we need to be wise, we need to be smart, we need to be balanced, we need to see that this bullshit comes from both sides. Like right now with these Epstein files and shit. It's like, what the fuck is going on? I get the legal side of it, that people are going to get their lives destroyed just because the son of a bitch mentioned them. Just mentioning somebody doesn't make you a criminal. See, that's the thing. But they don't show us their hand. The government never shows us what they're doing, just like all this shit with the aliens and, all these different things that they have. What are they really telling us? They're telling us shit that we already knew. Most people, intelligent people, knew what was going on. Call them conspiracy theorists all you want, but you have to be completely brain dead to not see the obvious. So, Gemini, we're going to need to speed this up. Damn, I've been yakking and yakking and yakking. All right, here we go. 3 shuffles and let's begin. Holy Spirit, please give us a message for the precious Geminis. Gemini, I don't like what's underneath the deck. What's up with that? The devil. We reject the devil. I reject the devil and his vices. Oh, but you say you reject the devil and his vices, but there you are doing tarot. I can just hear some Christians that I know that would say that to me. And you know what? If this is the devil, then you're full of the devil, because most of you are using AI. We're just brainstorming here. There's nothing magical here. There is no magic in tarot. Tarot is nothing more than a brainstorming exercise. It is based on a framework that we set, or we call it the Celtic Cross. It's 10 questions designed to get to the bottom of you and what's going inside of you, Gemini. Gemini, I'm not going to lie. I don't know what your message really is. I don't really get it completely. So what we're going to do is we're going to just go through it, and I'm going to hope that God gives me some insight as we go to some of these positions, because there's a couple of positions in here that it'll probably hit me as we go. So here we go. Right now, Gemini, you are, I feel like you're coming out of the cold with somebody. 5 of Pentacles in reverse. You're coming out of the cold with somebody, and you're respecting yourself while you're doing that. It's not like you're bringing yourself down to a lower vibration to kind of like, concede to this person, but it's kind of like you're not bringing yourself down, but yet you're respecting yourself, but yet you're coming out of the cold. And that's awesome. Because honestly, the worst feeling is that feeling of being out in the cold. Especially if you've really been out in the cold, like me. I've been out in the cold. I've been out, left behind, all those kind of things. And it sucks. And it can be because you were left out in the cold with a particular person, or you felt left out in the cold from a particular person. So let's continue. Your challenge or potential challenge. Again, this is crazy because it's the same message, just different way of saying it. The challenge is new love. An opportunity for new love by 5 of Wands in reverse, dropping the issues, dropping those pressures, the pressure to agree, okay, you know what, me and you have different ideas on whatever, but hey, we're family, we're going to love each other. I mean, because at the end of the day, who gives a shit, really? I mean, it's really not that important, at least not to me. Some people want to make it more important than what it is so that they can do whatever they're trying to do, like destabilize countries. But your challenge is to drop the motherfucking shit and just love. Just try to love. That's pretty cool. I like it a lot. That being said, Gemini, down in your subconscious, temperance is associated with patience, but temperance is actually not patience. Let me tell you what temperance is. You ever see a lion come up on a little critter and not kill it? It could rip it to shreds in seconds and it not kill it, it take mercy on it. It rarely happens, but it does happen. Particularly in cases where a baby of whatever, let's say it's a baby monkey or a baby bear, a lion a lot of times won't kill that. It's like even though they're a vicious killer, and even though they'll eat an ox, they'll take down an ox, 5 or 6 lions will take them down and eat that thing alive. And the thing is kicking and, crying and shit, and they're eating it alive. Okay? Even though that animal has that kind of vibration within it, it also has the vibration for mercy. And temperance is about mercy. And it's about, yes, patience is part of it. But it's way more than just patience. And the Chariot in reverse speaks to not moving forward. So I feel like you feel like you're not getting anywhere. And it's very hard to remain patient, very hard to remain calm, and I feel it, Tied to this energy and your hopes and fears, there is a fear that something's going to go wrong. Let me tell you something. As positive as a person that I am, and I have had to be positive, and I have had to survive all my life in a certain way, where I went from tragedy to tragedy to tragedy to fight after fight after fight, having to depend on myself, and that's the only person I could depend on was me, right? I feel like the setbacks, Wheel of Fortune in reverse is a setback, okay? It makes you stronger. But I can tell you that as strong as I am, I have my days where I can feel something talking to me, trying to tell me that it's not going to work out. Like right now, I'm in a situation where I'm selling my place and trying to get another place, and a month from now I could be homeless, literally. And I have the worst. If you let your mind think about the worst possible scenarios, and I've done it. If you don't stop that talk, that self-talk, it will capture you, and I know it will. So I don't typically go that route. I typically can get myself out of it, but I'm going to tell you, I have been under attack for about 2 weeks straight here, not knowing what is going to happen, because I'm dealing with all these other energies to make something happen, and you can get really frustrated with other people. And I feel like this goes back to that being balanced energy of the duality of Gemini. You have to be able to see this thing from another perspective and allow for using this temperance here. You know, it's patience, but yet it's also, hey man, I could actually do something right now and blow this motherfucking, you know, bring this whole sumbitch down kind of energy, you know. It's like what I feel like right now. It's like bringing the whole motherfucker down and just saying, fuck it then. But the temperance is telling me, calm down, relax. You can't do anything about anything. You can't change anything. I cannot worry about it every day, because if I do that, I'm just going to bring myself down even worse. Maintain a positive outlook on this thing. We're not going down this idea of what's the worst possible thing that can happen. So in your hopes and fears, I'm seeing this fear of something going wrong. Don't do it to yourself, Gemini. Don't let the enemy attack your mind, attack your thought life. The other thing that's in your hopes and fears is there is a mother. And we just went by Mother's Day here. I feel like your mother is in your heart, or very much part of your what's going on inside of you. Okay, let's move on. In the recent past, there was misinformation. 7 of Swords, Mr. Sneaky. Misinformation, disinformation concerning the truth. The truth will set you free, right? The truth shall set you free. But there was somebody that was withholding that information. And as a result of somebody withholding the truth from you, there was a complete transformation with that death card. Death is not death. In tarot, death is nothing. And even in life, even right now. At least that's what I believe. I don't believe we are completely done. I think our bodies are done. I'm channeling that song, Titanic, Celine Dion. The heart goes on forever. Something happened, and everything changed, and you became this beautiful energy. See, because that death card is like that caterpillar or that butterfly. It starts out as this little larva, it goes to this phase, it goes to this phase, it goes to this phase, and then one day it becomes a butterfly that only lives for, I think the oldest ones live for 90 days, the other ones live, some of them actually only live one day. You actually see them, you're actually seeing a miracle. You changed. It made you better, Gemini. Now, what lies before you at this time is making a decision to shut a door. Making a decision to shut that door. What door that is, I don't know. Now I'm talking like I'm back in West Texas. All right. Advice. Okay, I'm going to tell you these are 2 cards. A whole book could be written on this pair. because you got the Sun card, Major Arcana, to the Lovers card in reverse. Now, honestly, I don't usually take Lovers in reverse because unless it's a love reading, and in that case, and this can be about love, but the Sun card is everything that is good. It is divine blessings. It's comfort. It's salvation. It's enlightenment, enhancement, enrichment. It's all of it. And some people would say that its most important function of the sun is to shine the light on the darkness, which is what God does. He brings light. And there's so many things that we could say about the Lovers in reverse. I think what this is telling me is, now this is in your advice, okay? I feel like it's to bring the light to something that where there's not, see, Lovers is partially about free will. If you look at this card, that is the Garden of Eden. That is God, and that is Adam and Eve, and there is that tree with that forbidden fruit on it. But it's about free will. It's about choice. It's about choosing, right? And God says, you don't have to not go there. It's not like it's in a fence. The tree itself wasn't locked up in a fence. It didn't have anything to stop them from going in there, right? God knew they were going to go in there, even if he would have put a fence in there. You would probably even do it even quicker if you put a fence up, right? I lived through Prohibition. We had Prohibition in West Texas, where I come from. You want to talk about turning our little town into basically 1 year we had more murders than Dallas, Texas had back in the 80s, because we were a portal for all this gang, biker gang, drug trafficking, and all kinds of shit. And you start stopping people from certain things like alcohol, which, it created an environment of people breaking the law to get it. And we just it was not a good deal. And so there's free will. And in the reverse, it can mean that somebody has manipulated something, somebody did something, and they tricked somebody, such as, not to throw anybody under the bus, but, how many men can attest to the fact that a woman came to him and said, I'm pregnant, and maybe you weren't planning on continuing things, and you ended up with somebody that you really didn't love, but you loved them as a human, and because they were going to carry your progeny, you loved them in I guess more of a practical kind of way, not so much a love of, romance or anything like that. It could be something as simple as somebody tricked somebody, they lied about what they look like. Now, I can think of catfishing right away. That's another interpretation of Lovers in reverse, can be catfishing, I guess. There's a light being shown on something like that, possibly. That's why I say I didn't really know what to think of this. This is in your advice. So something about this is going to help you succeed. See, this is the part where Spirit gives advice. Okay, the advice is to take a look, shine the light on whatever the hell this damn thing is. And maybe I don't need to complicate it. Maybe you can just look at that card, use your spiritual understanding of that story, and apply it to your situation, because I honestly don't know what it is, what it means. Okay, let's move on. External influences to you. There is somebody that is famous and they are happy, and that is affecting you. Now that can be up to all kind of interpretation of what that means. I mean, you could really be into somebody that's famous, so much so that they make you happy. Their music makes you happy. Their books, their whatever, their acting, they're famous, they're popular, and they're happy. And somehow that's affecting you. That's awesome anyway, either way you look at it, because what do we want to do? We want to be around people that are happy. The last thing you want to do is be around a negative Nelly. Everything is the end of the world with some of these people. Stay away from these kind of people, please. In your overall projected outcome, Gemini, Spirit says you are going to accept something. You are going to accept something, and you are going to move towards it. Can't leave it like that. Let's get a clarifier or two. I don't like leaving something like that because this is so open-ended. I mean, honestly, I'm not going to. If you say, hey, I don't get this fucking reading, I don't either, you know. But maybe you'll get one little thing out of it that'll help you. And I cannot take all those, but I can take that one that's upside down and all those. You know, it just hit me. Remember I said it might hit me when we're reading it. Okay, so see that, the lovers in reverse there? You might be shining the light on somebody's infidelity in a marriage. I'm not going to lie. That could be what it is. So, one more. What else? Oh, one popped right now. Judgment in reverse, meaning not making a decision. So see, back over here, what lies before you is making a decision to not go through a door. Over here, you're supposed to accept something else and go towards that. And over here, you're supposed to shine the light on possible infidelity. And to clarify, oh, hey, you know what? That doesn't count. I didn't set the parameters. In tarot, you always have to set your question, okay? So let's get clarification on your advice. Let's do that first. So we're going to get clarification on that. Felt like a card flipped. Yes, it did, right there. Page of Swords, ask questions. Page of Swords, ask questions. That's your advice. That's to help you understand whatever this advice is. Ask questions, okay? Clarification on overall projected outcome, please, Spirit. What does Gemini need to know about this? Oh, card flipped right. I felt it flip. No, maybe not. Yeah, it did. Oh my God, are you kidding me? The King of Swords, make a decision. I don't know what to make of this reading, Gemini. Only you know what to make of it. If you found yourself getting resonated with this message, hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you can be alerted when I upload new videos. And with that, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.